Hey guys, it is me, Simone. Welcome back to my channel. Excuse me, noise. My neighbor's dog's barking, but I gotta go. I got no time for all this. Today I'm gonna talk about and start off my budget container gardening video. So we're gonna be doing a deck container garden. Now, even though I did mention the word deck, you can do this for anything, really. If you are going to be doing this on a patio, if you don't want to make in-ground beds, whether you're renting, things like that, they're renting a house, you're in a townhouse. I've had family members who live in townhouses. They have a little bit of land out there, but it's not theirs. And you may not want to sit there and dig in a trench, and it's easy for you to move your plants out the way if necessary. So do what makes sense for you. I'm going to use the word deck because that's what's going to be for me. I'm going to show you my deck, and we're going to get started. Now, with that being said, I'm going to kind of just bust some bubbles. My deck is not that small. It is kind of long. My deck is kind of long, but it's still going to have the same principles of growing in containers, having a decent yield. We're still going to go over it regardless of how long my deck is, how long or short your deck is. We're still going to get the same principle. It's still going to be something that we all can learn from. Whatever your space is, I hope it's so helpful, but we're still gonna do it. For me, it's gonna basically be kind of like a kitchen garden because it is right off my kitchen, which I'm kind of excited about. But we're gonna get into that when we get into that. Right now, let's talk about basically what is your goal with your gardening. So for me, my goal is to basically kind of replace me going to the grocery store. So that's how I'm going to be gardening. I want to grow as much of my own fruits and vegetables as I can. So that is the type of gardening I do here. If you're just trying to do like a supplemental here and there, do that. Make it make sense. Okay, so that's all I want to say, so y'all know what to expect when it comes to me and my gardening. And even though I'm a family of one here, or three, me, myself, and I still produce a lot. I still try to grow a lot because I always can be a blessing to other people and help them out, like my neighbors, my grandma, my mom, my brothers, siblings. So once you figure out what you want to do, next thing we're going to talk about is your lighting situation in your environment. This is important. If you're new to gardening, you need to go look up your grow zone, your hardiness zone. I'm 8A. This is like somewhat important. And then but what's really important is to know your first frost and your last frost dates. So this is very important to know when those dates are, because it's going to control basically what you can grow and how you should grow it. For people who are more up north, you're going to do a lot of basically transplanting. Either you're going to buy them or you're going to grow them yourself because you need more time. Or you're going to do, if you're like up where I am, down south, where you have a longer grow season, it doesn't really matter if you do transplanting. You can do in ground. So just make it make sense for you. Okay? So that being said, after we get that point, let's talk about our containers. Before y'all see this, we are growing in containers. So we're going to do grow bags, which I don't have near me. They're outside. I'm not bringing them in. And so just envision grow bags. Yeah. Okay, next we're going to envision is your pots. This is from Dollar Tree. This is a little Dollar Tree pot. Yeah, I want to show you this. We're going to use these, but we're also going to use random behind containers. Moving on. So I'm just any kind of container I can find from Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Dollar Stores, we're going to use. These are baskets. I've gone through and I poked holes. Can y'all see the holes I poked in them? I have, these are just lids to cookie jar containers I've got, which you can use to put your pans on and collect water for you. But we're really going to go crazy. I have baskets here. Put them next to me. But really right here, I have, these are clothing baskets that I got. I'm going to use those. And you're thinking, let's not allow holes for your dirt. Put cardboard around it. Call it a day. So I didn't put no holes in that one. I have these baskets. Like, look at the difference. This is a basket from Dollar Tree, and this is the pot from Dollar Tree. It's a huge difference. So that's junk in here, so I'm not going to do too much showing you. Okay. But yeah, so it's a huge difference in size. Literally, this container fits in this container, and you really can see how much room this one has. Just saying. Especially since this one does taper down. It has a nice open mouth, but it tapers down. So it kind of like limits you a little bit, because your roots are going to have to go down. So you gotta really think about that. So I got bigger containers. I've gone through my containers and poked holes. I have a soldering iron. If you have a drill, you can do the same thing. I put my holes on the side. I'm going to experiment with that. Since they are going on deck, I didn't want too much water dripping directly on my deck, so I kind of just wanted to come on the side. I have more containers, but I don't have them here to show you. It's outside, but just you're getting an idea. I have these big totes. These are storage totes. This is a 10-gallon or a 38-liter. The other ones don't have sizes, so I can't help you. I just filled it up with some newspapers for now. We'll talk about the dirt we're going to be growing in. I have a mop bucket. This is more material we're going to basically put in our dirt. And you can see I put holes in it. So mop bucket from Dollar Tree. My Dollar Tree is still $1. So I'm kind of like taking advantage of that before it goes to $1.25, because I won't be there that often. Yeah. Okay. Whatever you can find, grow into it. That's what we're talking about. Make it make sense for you. And this is something I didn't just all get at once. I've been getting these containers bit by bit. I have the gray one here, but I had some blue ones I found the first time I did this. I just took like $5 out of one paycheck, $10 at the next paycheck, $3, and I just start getting a little bit of 10 containers. Don't make it more complicated than it has to be. Really, make it as simple as it can be for you. As we're going to get more grow containers, and we're going to get more grow bags. I do like my grow bags to an extent, but I'm going to get some more grow bags and things like that. I do grow in these already at my garden, even though I do have property and land, just because my dirt, I do above ground method, but my dirt's not that deep, and I have very clay soil here, so at some point some of my root vegetables just do better if I put them in a pot and I try to put them in the ground, because they're going to be limits on how deep they actually can go in the ground and let the roots go. So things like carrots and stuff, I don't even try. I don't. I put them in pots. So I do have those. So that's an option. Next thing we're going to talk about basically is your dirt. Your dirt's going to be a big thing for y'all. So whatever dirt you're going to be using. I'm going to talk about this more as we get through our series and talking about gardening and stuff, because there's a lot of information out there, and to be honest with you, I'm cheap. I am very, very cheap. And I'm not going to spend a lot of money if I don't have to on dirt. So I bought my dirt, it's bag dirt. And I get the cheapest one I can find. Literally. The cheapest one there. The one I use, which in my dirt video I'll talk about the brand, because I can't remember. I think it's like Tree something. But it was literally just shredded tree dirt, if you can call it that. And it's just chunks of, broken down mulch would be a better name for it. I didn't care. It had awful reviews, because all of the reviews said, oh, it's basically just wood. Great for me. I'll take it. And I just amended it, added better things to it. So composting in place, adding leaves, food scraps. I added in manure. Made the dirt way better. And it doesn't cost that much money. You don't need to put a lot of money in here. If you want to, that is up to you, honey. I'm not shaming you. Do what you can do. Do what you can afford. But with this method, which I like, well, I say there's no but. With this method, you can do container by container, which means, if you want to go out and spend that money and really get quality dirt, you can, and you don't have to do it all at once with a big, huge, above ground container beds. You can do it bit by bit and make it make sense for you. It's still something you can manage. So we'll talk about seeds in a different video, because I when I kind of go through everything we're going to be growing, and I have to go select the varieties that I already have that we're going to be using, because I'm not buying more seeds. I'm just saying. But what is that? Oh, it's a UPS truck. Sorry, the dog barking. It's not mine. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. But you can just take this bit by bit and make it make sense for you, for your dirt. Now, obviously, when you go out and buy your containers, I do want you to think about what you're planning to or what you think you can grow in them before you buy them. Because there really is no point going and buying a bunch of random containers you're not going to use. There's some sizes I just don't get because it makes no sense for me to get those tiny little sizes. Because I'm thinking, what am I going to grow in them? That I couldn't just grow in a bigger container? Because your big plants are going to leave gaps and spaces that you could grow something in. So it makes really no sense for me unless I'm growing them inside to get very, very tiny containers. Now, I'm going to go outside and we're going to go show you briefly what we're going to be doing in my deck. And I can give you a little view of what my deck looks like. And we can talk about that. So let's go out there and chat about what we're going to be doing with my deck. Alright, sorry guys, the barking's going to be a little loud. But it's cold out here, so we ain't going to be here for long. But this is what my deck looks like, as you can see. It's kind of long, but I still want to give y'all a chance to grow something on here. Even if my deck is a little bigger than yours, or smaller than yours, or whatever, you still have the choice to grow something. So the sun, I'm talking about my property since I know it. I know my sun comes, I know that over there is west. So the sun comes from over my house. So for me, I need to make sure what I'm planting goes, if it's very tall, has to go close to the railing. Because if not, it's going to shade my plants, which is not what I want. Unless you want that, you want to shade some of your plants from your sun. I have very humid, hot sun, so some plants will prefer to be shaded. Other plants, not so much. That's what getting to know like what you're dealing with is going to be important, and that's why I kind of talked about knowing your property, knowing your land, knowing what you're dealing with. So with my deck, and it's all its messed up glory, we're just going to put the containers here. Now I do have this random chair that I don't like. It was given to me to use. That I'm going to use to put some of my totes on. And you can do that. You can put a table out here, a cheap little plastic table, and put your pots on that if you don't want to bend over. You can make you can grab some little cheap bricks and put them under your containers to help them raise them off the wood, because this is wood, so not soaking the wood up and deteriorating it too fast, and to give you some more leverage so you're not bending over so much. It's your option. So what we're going to do, I'm going to put my containers out here. I'll show you that later because it's cold right now. I'm not going to stay outside, and I don't have no jacket anyways. But I'm just going to go through and fill my containers up with leaves and kitchen scraps. Okay, I have tons of bags of leaves and piles of leaves I put around my property that are slowly decomposing. I'm going to do the same thing I did with my other things. Start taking this, now the wind's blowing, of course it is, and take that dirt, and I'm going to start putting it in my containers. And some kitchen scraps, I make some compost tea, and just fill it up. Over time, that stuff will break down, and your soil, your plants will love what your broken down stuff is giving it. So all that is good nutrients, especially when you're adding kitchen scraps, making compost tea, composting in place. We're going to make our own soil, basically. So most of my beds are going to be filled with that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put dirt on top of it and call it a day. You don't want to make it too complicated for yourself. You can do half and half if you really want to. You can do half of your beds filled with that and the rest of your half filled with dirt. So you have options. So I kind of hope that shows you basically everything Oh, excuse my kitchen. Like just kind of hide it. I hope that just helps y'all learn, see what we're doing for our deck garden, and understand like the process we're gonna be taking and everything, and so you're not too confused and you know what to expect. So I will show you and give you updated on this. This idea of filling my beds with mostly leaves, mulch, well, not mulch, leaves, tree clippings. It's not a new idea. A lot of people tell you to fill your beds up with like leaves or something, or branches, tree pieces, whatever, to help you not spend as much money on dirt. So you have that option. Now, I would urge you, if you don't want to buy bag dirt or you want a better deal, to start looking and see if your local municipality sells compost. I know mine's does not, but the one over for me does. It's open to the public, so I have options. So keep that open when you're going through your process of getting dirt, if you want to. It's a lot of times cheaper than getting bag dirt, and you can get good quality too. So I keep looking up. Like, I get in the habit of not looking at my reflection. So I hope y'all have a great day. I hope this video was kind of helpful, and I will talk to y'all later about what we're going to do next. Mostly going to be our seed video, talking about the different varieties I'm going to be growing here. So you have a great day and stay safe. Bye.